And the fifth one is a clear direction. And, I don't know if any of you ever read the Joe Ehrmann book, Inside Out Coaching. I think many of you probably have, but if you haven't, it's probably my favorite read of all time, and Inside Out Coaching. And really finding the answer to your direction. And the 4 questions that he asks is, why do you coach? Why do I coach the way that I do? What's it like to be coached by me? And how do you define success? So we talked about how do you define success has a lot to do with that first one. Has a lot to do with the 4 B's, like where do you actually find value in your coaching? Because whether you like it or not, you're going to coach from that place. And what's it like to be coached by me? That goes back to self-awareness. Having an understanding of what is it really like to be coached by me? I ask my players that all the time. Tell me what it's really like. Like, I'm just in pursuit of being great at my craft because I know God's got a plan for me. Tell me what it's like to be coached by me. And I look back and why do I coach the way I do? And for me, gosh, man, I've been so fortunate to have a dad that was like that, to be mentored by Don Meyer, and Coach and I are down Bob Starkey and Mono Watson and Dina Evans. And I could go on. I've had an unfair advantage in the number of people that I've had that love the Lord, that mentored me. And then back to why do you coach, which could go back to the 4 B's. So I think when you examine those questions, therein lies your direction. Like where am I headed and why am I headed that way? Because at the end of the day, unfortunately, we don't always get to see the harvest. And John Maxwell has a great quote. It says, success each day should be judged by the seed sown, not the harvest reaped. And how true is that for us as coaches? You know what I mean? Like, how many days do we think we try and we try and we try? But if you've coached long enough, you know that there's just that other side of it where you've tried so hard with this young person and so hard, and you just don't see anything. I can't tell you how many stories I have of players that 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road, then it began to change. So you never know what seed you're planting right now. And we are in the seed planting business, and we don't always get to see the harvest, but we've got to stay diligent in that pursuit. And in that direction, Philippians 4:6, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything be in prayer and thanksgiving, let your request be made and known to God. And I think about when we go through this, there's so many times when we want to see the benefits of our work, but we just got to keep making them known to God. Lord, please, with this young man, please, with this young woman, like to continue that. And I think I know there's power in a praying wife. Like, I've got a special power. I've got a praying wife, and it is a special thing to have. But I would say the same thing, man. Like, what if each one of those individuals had a praying coach that was praying for them? Like, that's a special thing. God hears that. God wants that. And our players deserve that.